What handbags does Lydia have now? She went from 50 to 15 handbags. The Pochette Matisse really blew up because of her and probably like a few other influencers. It literally had all the bags that one could want. It's gone back to buying pre-loved. Like, that's actually quite interesting, and it just goes to show that even if you're not on a budget, pre-loved is sometimes like the better way to go. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. As somebody who collects handbags, I love seeing people's handbag collections evolve and change over time. I think as people we are always changing, and with that our fashion sense, ideas about buying fashion, and just life changes over time, right? And Lydia Elise Millen is a influencer or a YouTuber, TikToker, whatever, who I've followed for maybe like over 6 years. Back in the day when I was looking up Louis Vuitton Pochette Matisse and I was looking up like Lady Dior bags, she was one of the main influencers that would come up on my feed, and I just thought that her sense of style was so beautiful. Although I felt like I could never relate to her aesthetic, I appreciated her style and I loved hearing her thoughts on handbags. And well, a few days ago Lydia uploaded a video of her updated handbag collection, and she mentioned that she is a recovering handbag addict, and that now that when she buys bags she takes a really long time to think about it. At the moment she's been thinking about buying a bag for 6 months, whereas in the past she would be buying bags much more regularly. And well, today I wanted to talk about what her handbag collection looks like now comparing to what it was like 6 years ago, 1 year ago, even 3 years ago. It's really interesting to see how her handbag collection has changed and what influenced that to happen. So let's go back to like, I don't know when it was, guys, like 2017. And Lydia had a big collection of handbags, in fact, over 50 handbags. And she had bags from Valentino, Fendi, Dior, even Loewe, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, of course. And actually back then it didn't seem like she had any Hermes bags at all, which was quite interesting. Now, I'm not sure if some of these bags that she bought in the past were sponsorships. I know she had a big collection of Bulgari. Perhaps that was a sponsorship. I'm not too sure. Perhaps even Fendi worked with her at some point. I do have no idea. I know Louis Vuitton works with influencers sometimes as well. However, some of her most iconic brands that I remember her having is this beautiful Dior embroidered bag with all this like galactic embroidery. I thought that was just like a very stunning bag. She also had a Chanel vanity case in a beige color, a Louis Vuitton capucine, a Petit Mal, which I feel like she potentially influenced a lot of people with this Petit Mal. A lot of people were buying a Petit Mal around this stage. A boy bag in pink. I mean, I could go on. Chloe bags. A lot of influencers back then had Chloe bags, which I don't hear as much apart from the Woody tote. Fendi baguettes. She had multiple Lady Dior bags. Even a Peekaboo, Chanel totes, seasonal Dior bags, this Loewe bag, even Bottega bags. Back in 2020, guys, everyone was going crazy for Bottega, the cassette, the pouch, and yeah, it's kind of died down a little bit, hasn't it? So yes, she had a lot of trendy bags, and they definitely, when I think of some of these bags, I do think of that time. And that's, I don't know, I'm not saying that none of these bags are necessarily timeless. I think a Lady Dior is actually quite timeless. However, it did seem like Lydia really did hop on every single trend, and she was very trend driven. It doesn't seem like she's that much into vintage. She's definitely into buying like the latest and coolest thing. I know that some of her bags she bought pre-loved, like she mentioned that this pink boy bag was a pre-loved buy. But yeah, her way of buying things was a lot different in the past, and I suppose because she is an influencer as well, she feels probably pressure to keep up with the trends and to keep showing the new things she's buying. And in fact, it's financially probably better off her doing that, because she was probably getting so many views on YouTube that her buying one bag isn't going to make that much of a difference. In fact, it's going to generate her even more views. Really interesting to see how she's changed now. Now, I watched her handbag collection from 1 year ago, and she was kind of going through timeless classics that she'd recommend. The Fendi Peekaboo, Lady Dior. She had a Birkin 30 in gold. She had a Kelly 28 in black. And since then, it seems like she sold all of these bags, even the Birkin and all that. And let's talk about now what her collection looks like now, because she did mention that, and Lydia, if you're watching, I mean, I'm not giving you hate or anything. I actually love your channel. I love her current aesthetic. It's actually pretty cool. She seems a little bit more... she seems like somebody who rides horses, who is probably inspired by the way that Kate Middleton dresses, or like, it's very British the way that she dresses now compared to a few years ago. It was a little bit more trend driven. Now it's much more British, like she likes to potter around in the garden kind of vibe. Old money in a way, I would say. And it seems like her way of dressing changed a lot ever since lockdown as well. She said the pandemic very much changed her as a person, and the lockdowns or the pandemic made her think about life in a different way as well. So perhaps that did influence her handbag collection. Now, for me personally, the lockdowns in Melbourne made me buy more bags, and I actually went insane from the lockdowns, guys. I bought so many Chanel and Louis Vuitton bags. Like, I actually went insane. So I would say the pandemic for me, it didn't make me create a YouTube channel, so that was a good thing, but I wouldn't say it made me buy less bags. It actually made me buy more bags. But it seems like for Lydia, she's gone down more of a minimalistic, buy less kind of mindset. So I'm going to stop blabbing on and get right into her handbags. What handbags does Lydia have now? She went from 50 to 15 handbags. That's right, guys. She apparently only has 15 handbags now, which I find insane. She sold so many bags, including like most of those Dior bags. She seems like she sold all the Fendi bags, all the OG Birkin and whatever, the Kelly 28. She doesn't have that anymore. No Valentino, no Bulgari. It's crazy, guys, but who knows? Maybe she still has these bags. I don't know. Maybe she's just pretending. I really have no idea. Okay, first bag that she shared is the Chanel Classic Flap. This is one bag that she said she bought from the boutique, and she bought it brand new from store. And, she says that she doesn't wear it that often. However, she holds on to it because she does wear it every now and then. And it is the epitome of timelessness. However, now she would suggest if she were to buy it again, she would rather buy it vintage. She would rather buy the 24K plated hardware Chanel Classic Flap as opposed to buying it in the boutique where you're just getting that like subtle gold hardware. Now with the 24K plated hardware, that does come with cons as well. That can chip off and reveal silver. So sometimes the modern day hardware can be better, but I do think that she likes that more opulent look, so that rich gold color probably is more her vibe. So yeah, she said if she was going to buy a Classic Flap again, she'd go vintage. So interesting to have that perspective, because back in the day she was definitely buying a lot more new trendy bags, and it's interesting that she suddenly has an appreciation for vintage Chanel when she literally had all the bags that one could want and she's gone back to buying pre-loved. Like, that's actually quite interesting, and it just goes to show that even if you're not on a budget, pre-loved is sometimes like the better way to go, because things were just made better in the past. Next bag that she shows is a Chanel wicker vanity case. This one she bought from the boutique, and she mentioned that it cost as much as an Hermes bag. She says that the quality on this one is amazing. However, she wants to paint the bag, the edges of the bag, because she finds that the shade of gold doesn't match a lot of her shoes, and she likes to match her shoes to her bags, which is a very like old school way of dressing, to have matching shoes and bags. It's something like Queen Elizabeth would do, but yeah, I mean, pretty interesting. I think that is her current aesthetic, so it makes sense, but it's also kind of shocking she'd want to dye her bag. But then she also mentioned that maybe she should get some shoes made to match this bag, so some gold shoes. So there you go. And that whole baskety vibe, it's very Jane Birkin, it's very like old Parisian style, so it definitely ties into her like whole country vibe that she has going on. Now, she also bought this Chanel mini pearl bag with pearls on the chain. This was also a very trending bag. To be honest, I wouldn't say this was a hyper bag, similar to like the pearl encrusted bag. Lydia says that she really wanted the pearl covered in pearls bag, the one that went really, really viral. Resale value was really high on this one, but she settled for the one with the bit of the pearls on the chain, and she loves it. It's pretty simple enough. It's a black Chanel bag, so she's kept it. However, it seems like she's sold a lot of her previous Chanel bags that she had. Hey guys, I totally forgot to mention like one of her most iconic bags, which is the Pochette Métis. Now, Lydia says that she was literally the main influencer who created a frenzy for this bag, which honestly, I think she's right. Like, the Pochette Métis really blew up because of her and probably like a few other influencers. When she bought that bag, it sold out, guys. Like, she was definitely one of those people that was super influential back in the early days of handbag YouTube, and I really do think that a lot of people bought this bag because of her, and it's crazy how many bags people probably bought because of her that some of them she's kept, but some of them she's sold. But the Pochette Matisse was the one that she kept, the one that's still worth it. So I suppose, interesting to see, right? And she said that it was a bag that she wore, she couldn't stop wearing. So Pochette Matisse for her is a timeless classic bag. So now she only has 2 Chanel bags, guys. So that's quite a, you know, an edit from her collection. I can kind of relate to that because I personally used to have a lot of Chanel bags myself, and I sold them all just to get Hermes. I understand kind of why she would do that. Now, the next bag that she shows is so cute. This is a Lulu Guinness bag, and she said that she wore it to like a garden fair or something like that. I can't quite remember, but it's a little novelty piece. Looks like a basket with some like blackberries on top. Now, Lulu Guinness is a British brand, so it looks like Lydia is still steering more towards these British brands now, which makes sense because I think that is literally her aesthetic, is like British royal off-duty vibes. So yeah, Lulu Guinness. Lulu Guinness is a brand that not many people have talked about the last few years, but I remember back in the day a lot of people were buying the Lips Clutch, but this bag is absolutely adorable, and personally I love it, and I think it's really cool that she's added a few novelty pieces to her collection as well. Now, I'm not sure if this part of the video is sponsored, but she mentioned some Amazon bags that she bought that are baskets. One is very much inspired by maybe a Jane Birkin basket, which is like, you know, the epitome of timelessness, effortlessness. And she mentions that it's super affordable. She also has another like little baskety style which she loves, but she wished it had more leather accents on it, and that she would love a picnic Birkin, and she feels like this is a good substitute. However, if she did have a picnic Birkin, well, she would be too scared to wear it because of how expensive it is. And yeah, I can kind of get that. I mean, but you can't really compare it to an Amazon bag, but yes, I understand where Lydia is coming from with that. I know I probably wouldn't want to wear a picnic Birkin because it costs like $100,000 on the resale market, so I get that. But I mean, I'm sure she's worn really expensive things in the past, but anyways, who knows? She feels more safe with the Amazon bag, so take of that what you will. But yeah, interesting. And really interesting style that she mentions here is this little vanity case that it's in this like Bordeaux color, and I had no idea about this brand in the past. And apparently it's from a brand called Fairfax and Favor. So she's like, this is not sponsored. I legitimately love this Fairfax and Favor bag. And I'm like, when I first saw her showing this, I'm like, surely this is like sponsored, but nah, it's not sponsored. So I went on the Fairfax and Favor website because I was just like, what is Fairfax and Favor? And definitely I would say the clothing is Lydia to a T. Like just the riding boots, the skinny jeans with like the fitted jackets. Like it's kind of like you're riding a horse vibe. Yes, I would say I'm not surprised she's into this brand because it is like quintessentially like what she's going for. And their bags, they're really interesting. They look very equestrian inspired. One bag kind of looked like a Gucci bag, one looks like an Evelyn, but this little vanity case, she says that the leather is such amazing quality. It feels really similar to the Togo leather on her Birkin bag. So really interesting. I've never heard of Fairfax and Favor, so I thought that was just, you know, interesting. It's always good to find out about new brands. They actually came from really humble beginnings. They started off like selling things in like markets, and then they became more well known. So it definitely took a while to build their brand, but now I guess they're probably popular amongst certain communities, certain people. And let me know, guys, do you have a Fairfax and Favor bag, and do you think they're really good quality? Because the pricing is actually pretty reasonable. Their clothes are priced much higher than their bags, which sometimes in fashion, that is how it should be, but these days a lot of people prioritize bags over fashion, so most brands are making their bags more expensive than the clothes. But at the end of the day, like, it's good to invest in really good quality clothes as well. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. And now let's get into, the juicy stuff, guys. Oh, actually, let me just talk about her one Dior bag. So, you know, Lydia used to have a lot of Dior bags, but now she only has her original Lady Dior bag, which is this peachy beige color. And she said it's completely trashed. She got pen on it, and it's so worn out, but it's one of her first ever Dior bags, and that if she was going to start her Dior collection again, she'd only go for this size. It seems like the mini size. And as I said, you know, she had all different sizes of Dior bags over the years, so interesting that she's come to this conclusion that she would only go for this size, because I personally thought the small size would be the most practical, but Lydia is saying that the mini size is, so there you go. That is the one Dior bag standing. And now let's get into the Hermes bags. First one is a black mini Kelly. I mean, this was probably the most popular social media bags of last year. A lot of people were obsessed with mini Kelly. So although I feel like Lydia is going for a timeless style, I would also say that Hermes is like trending. Even though it's a timeless brand, it's definitely trending more than ever. So yeah, I mean, just like how Lydia kind of got rid of all her own bags, I wouldn't now like be influenced by her to buy Hermes bags, because I mean, Hermes is a trend, which is really crazy to say. And I mean, I have a lot of Hermes bags too, but Mini Kelly is so overhyped that the resale value is so, it has exploded, the resale price. I wouldn't say it's necessarily worth it. However, Lydia loves it. She bought it pre-loved, and there you go. I mean, yeah, it's definitely an it bag at the moment, but who knows if it will be in another 5 years. Just like, that Lady Dior she bought or whatever. Like, it's hard to say, right? It's hard to see. It's hard for me to necessarily think she's actually motivated by timeless style, or she's still going for the trends. And there's a bit of a fine line there, although she has cut back on her collection quite significantly. Now, I really love her Kelly 32 from the 1970s. She picked this up. It's vintage, obviously. It's from the 1970s, and it's in a very classic Hermes heritage color, the Rouge H. Lydia mentions that she only goes for heritage colors now, the gold, black, fauve, whatever. Rouge H is a very classic Hermes color, and actually Rouge H is a trending color for Hermes this year as well. If you look at their recent runway show, there was a lot of plume bags in the Rouge H, and that shiny box heritage leather vibe is also very trending this year. I mean, we also saw like Kendall Jenner with box cuff. Everyone's buying the box cuff. So although it's classic, I would also say it's a trend, guys. Like, I hate to say it, but being classic is like trendy at the moment. So yes, but nonetheless, it is gorgeous. I think it's really cool that Lydia is being sustainable, not going for like the latest it bag, and going for something a little bit more cool, effortless. And she says that she really uses this bag a lot, and she doesn't care about it, the wear and tear. She loves the creases in it. She loves the aging, and I think that's really cool. I mean, she also has a Rouge H Birkin 25. I mean, goals, guys. Like, love this bag. Now, her husband, Ali, got offered this at the boutique, which is really awesome. I mean, it seems like husbands have better luck than, the wives, but let me know, guys, has your husband ever got you a Birkin at the boutique when you couldn't? Because I need to get Alex to like get his butt down there. But yes, really nice that her husband gave this to her as a gift, and it was after her book launch as well. So really beautiful bag. It's in Togo leather, so it gives off a little bit of a different shade comparing to the box cuff on the vintage one, and just an adorable size. She says Birkin 25 is her favorite size. Love it. I have nothing left to say. Like, obviously it's beautiful. Now, she also has a Birkin 25 in gold, which she mentions is in storage. Maybe she just couldn't be bothered to get it out of the cupboard, but yeah, beautiful bag, classic bag. Can't really go wrong with this one. I believe she got this from the store as well. A mini Kelly in gold. On gold, yeah, obviously this is really hard to get, and she bought this pre-loved, so she loves, obviously she's going for more the Birkin 25 and the mini Kelly. From her video like a year ago, it looked like she had a gold Birkin 30, but she must have sold that because now she has the gold Birkin 25, so perhaps Birkin 30 doesn't work for Lydia. Interesting to know. And I think she also had a Kelly 28 in the past in black with palladium, and she sold that one as well. So interesting to see how even her Hermes collection has changed over time, even though she had very classic bags to begin with. She also has this gorgeous canvas Birkin in the size 35, which I guess fits into that big bag trend that is happening right now. And that canvas with the neutral color, it's something that I see a lot at the row as well. And it's a very classic Hermes combination, but definitely wouldn't be as sought after a few years ago. I think this kind of vibe is coming back into fashion. And yeah, it's a gorgeous bag, but admittedly, Lydia says that she doesn't wear it as much, but she's going to try to more so this year. Yeah, and then finally she has a Birkin 25 in Cellier in black. So the Cellier construction is a lot more, I would say, formal, professional, but she mentions that she prefers the retourné because it has that more relaxed style, which, yeah, it's a bit more effortless, and I think it does go more with her current vibe. But she did buy this Cellier Birkin pre-loved, or well, secondhand, could be new from the secondhand shop, from the reseller. I think she bought it from, oh, where was it? Like a Luxury Promise? Oh my gosh, they have so many cool bags, but yes. Yeah, she does buy from a few different like consignment stores. So anyways, it was really interesting to see how Lydia's collection had changed over the years, and really fascinating that she went from a lot of these trendy brands to just a few random more trendy bags, and then predominantly Hermes. I'm not sure what bag she would be adding next. She did mention that she's really looking at Lorna bags, because Lorna is a British brand, and she says that it's like the Hermes of Britain, and it doesn't surprise me because Lorna is a brand that the Queen herself really loved wearing, and a lot of her bags were from Lorna as well, so it doesn't surprise me that Lydia would also be curious by this brand. So I'm sure we'll see Lydia with a Lorna bag in the future as well, and perhaps she'll also buy more bags from other British brands, because that seems what her current style is. Maybe she'll go for I don't think she would go for Alexander McQueen. It's probably a little bit too edgy, but who knows, guys? Like, we'll see how her collection evolves again. Really interesting to see that a lot of people are going down the same trajectory of like buying Hermes bags. I mean, I can kind of relate to that as well, but yeah, let me know, do you like Lydia's collection now, or do you prefer her old style? I personally actually prefer her new style, so I just thought I'd share that with you guys, because yeah, I love sharing my handbag journey as well, and how I've collected bags when my style has changed, or even my outlook on life has changed in the way that I buy bags. I know this year I'm definitely going to be trying to buy less bags as well, and really, I mean, I want a Birkin 25, so that's something that I really have to be disciplined in putting my energy towards, and I think I'm on the right track so far. So anyways, thanks for listening to my blabby video today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!